Alright, here we go. This is a bit of a practice stream. I want to get better at this. I do want to eventually stream some City Skylines. Oh, and I should probably... Alright, here we go. I can hear myself. I need to mute. Bit of a practice stream. Mute. Okay, I don't need this thing playing in the background. Okay. I'm just going to do some casual Derail Valley playing. I started a new save. So it didn't feel like sort of dropping into an already in progress playthrough. So I have the game trying to walk me through here. Got my first delivery order here. Insert delivery order there. Cancel active orders by throwing them in there. You can use couches and beds to sleep to advance game time. And that's it. Alright. Well, before I do anything, I'm just going to buy myself a shunting license. Gonna cost half of everything I have. I can now shunt. Alright, let's grab... I like to start with the multiple pickups. It sort of cleans up the yard a little bit. You can only do one at a time so far. I grab 2 cars from A5, a car from A3, and a car from B7. Go find a locomotive. 2 DE2s. Go, line up the turntable. Okay, got some switches. Igniter. Engine stalled. Try that again. There we go. To the handbrake. Brake pipes is charging. Put some lights on. Alright. Brakes are off. Bring forward and because I'm still waiting for my brakes to charge, maybe. Yeah, they work. Okay. I'm in standard difficulty, so there's UI. We have some quality of life UI features that we can use. Not overly realistic, but also not too easy either. Here we go. We had a car in A3 that we need to pick up, and that's the closest track to us right now. job 58. I should be able to tell. Yeah, 58. Reverse. Oh, the switch is lined, yes. It appears I do have access to another person camera. I haven't actually used this difficulty mode before. I have one save in comfort mode and another in realistic, so I don't really know what the medium ground difficulty is like. Just hop into it. Break. More damage. More damage. Alright, next one. And A5. Check out this third person. There we go. Hello, admin. Welcome. What is it? That's job 75. So I need to dig out cars from that track. Switch. Power level seems a bit quiet. Is it my voice that's quiet? Testing, testing. I can turn that up. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. How's this? I have it peeking into the yellow in OBS now. Release the brakes and go into reverse. Start digging out those cars from the A5 track. Game is low, but seems intentional. Yeah, there isn't much going on in here. It'll get louder if I put the camera in the locomotive. It is a good volume. Excellent. I am coming in hot. Slow down. Alright, so this is train 75 and I need train 58. I need to extract some cars. 58 is there, so I can couple it in. I have two train 58 cars, so I'm just going to pull this all out. Plop the two 58 cars in there, put the unwanted cars back, and then I will have part of the train I want. Oh, and I have to manually undo these handbrakes. Comfort mode, it will automatically release the handbrakes. This is not sandbox, this is standard, so I'm a little unfamiliar with the difficulty settings. So I was just mentioning how it in comfort mode, which is a mode that I have another save in, it will automatically release the handbrakes when you couple into a cut of cars. But it appears that in standard you still have to go and click the handbrakes. Got some wheel slip. Looks like it's raining, so the tracks are a bit extra slippery. Keep the throttle low. Wheel slip is still an issue. DE4 is not a chonky source of power. It's fairly light too, so it can only put out so much power before the wheels slip. It's another thing that comfort controls for you, is it doesn't let your wheels slip, so now I have to worry about that. I wonder if I can kick these cars in to that spot. I don't have to follow them all the way in. Actually, kicking is a little easier in this mode because when you disconnect a piece of, like a bunch of cars, oh, it didn't go in all the way because those iron ore hoppers are blocking track. But yeah, if you disconnect these, it will automatically apply the handbrake, which is annoying if you want the cars to continue rolling. Alright, need to go get those, push them in a bit more. It's going to be difficult because those iron cars are heavy. 62 tons of ore per car, plus the 24 tons of the car itself, whereas these flatbeds are only 11 tons. All right. Couple in. Let the air brakes charge up so I can move them. The air brake pipe is flashing because there are hand brakes applied still. There we go. Yes. I do enjoy kicking cars when I'm shunting. And it looks like it's going to be a little easier now with the automatic handbrake turned off. Alright, so the brake pressure is, the brakes are fully off. I can start pushing. I don't want to go too hard because I have no traction on these wet rails. Okay, I think that's far enough. Try and brake. Disconnect. Handbrake. Kicking, yeah, it's when you shove a bunch of cars and let them roll. You disconnect them, let them roll on their own into the track you want. I suppose I could use some sand, but I don't really want to use sand yet. Okay, so I need to get rid of these Train 75 cars, so I'm going to kick them back into the track I got them from. Reverse, take the brake off. Oh, I need to charge their brake. If I disconnect them, then I can't. The cars have train brakes, so they have air brakes that the locomotive controls. So if I disconnect them, I can't really release the train brakes. So I need to release the train brakes, then disconnect them, and now they should be able to roll freely. Wheel slipping, turn the sander on. Turn on the brakes, now that the cars are moving. And there they go. And then once they're clear, I can tie the handbrakes. Do the switch while I wait. Alright. I've actually been learning a lot from a YouTube channel run by a guy who works at the Colorado Railway Museum. It was by Heiss, Hyce. Really good channel. Plays a lot of Derail Valley, Railroads Online, and occasionally has videos with a real steam train. It can be more efficient. It reduces the amount of times you need to move the locomotive back and forth. But it is also fun. Alright. Grab those cars, tie down the iron ore. Alright, I need to get the next set of cars, which are in... There's a single car in the B7 track, and the V yard is over there. It's that big one. It's always nice when the efficient thing is also the fun thing. I'm just going to use sand. All locomotives have sand as a way to improve traction. But it is a consumable resource that you eventually have to replenish if you run out. But yeah, a lot of what I know here from locomotives comes almost directly from that channel. Okay, so where is that car? Of course, it's on the very end, on the opposite end of this line of cars here. These wheels are sliding. So with the lower friction, the brakes can lock, and then the wheels just slide. And it's apparently very bad for train wheels to do that. Stop slipping. I mean, sand is... It's a sediment that is constantly being created from erosion. So in theory, it technically renews itself, but I don't know how I don't know how quick that process is compared to how fast we use it up. But the amount of sand like a locomotive uses is nothing compared to what we do for our beaches, for example. Let me turn my sander off since I'm not actually trying to apply any kind of traction. Sort of rolling into position here. Yeah, it's a good question. Question of renewability. So my goal is to shove this entire line of hopper cars, which may turn out to be futile because I have a very weak beginner locomotive with no tractive effort. But the car I want is all the way on the very end of this line of cars. So I'm going to... well, it's going to take forever to charge the brakes too. Oh dear, yeah, that is problematic lack of renewability there. I wonder what the well, I wonder how much of the demand is from the railways, because every locomotive in the world uses it. All right, brakes are off. I'm going to very slowly kick this last car with a lot of wheel slip. I will try not to burn out my locomotive by pushing it too hard. There it goes. I bet sand is something we can synthesize, though. It is, like, essentially broken down rocks. Sort of waiting for this car to coast past this last switch here. I am leaving the sander on when I don't need it. Talking about how non-renewable the resource is, and I'm just sort of leaving it on when I'm not using it. Alright, that is far enough. I think this is far away from the next switch that I can just sort of leave it here and I won't be in the way. Alright, 42, 58. 58 is the train I'm building. Excuse me. Another reason why I don't use the sender often, because I am really bad at leaving it turned on. Alright. I think the rain stopped, but I think there's a lag between when the rain stops and the rails dry out. The devs of this game put a lot of effort into making the railroading experience, as authentic as possible, including all of the challenges of bad weather. They also know how to make it an accessible game, like this whole being able to have a third-person view and sort of click on cars and couplings. Use a minimum speed for the sand. I don't know. I guess they do sort of act as like tiny ball bearings, but at the same time they also get pulverized from the weight of the train. Interestingly, I only use it at low speeds, so I'm probably doing it all wrong. It's at low speeds when you're trying to get a train started that your traction seems to be the biggest issue. Pretty hot. Bang. Well, it didn't damage it. Alright, that's the whole train. I now need to go load it up. Federal Railway Authority in Germany instructed the railway companies to avoid sanding at speeds of 25 kilometers per hour on disc-braked locomotives. Huh. I don't know if these are disc-braked. Disc braked? Are they drum braked, or are they something else entirely? I don't know. I know the commuter train in Toronto has disc brakes. You can see them from the platform as the train goes by. And as I get faster, I can start adding more throttle without worrying about slipping. I'm at throttle 5, whereas before, if I went to like throttle 3, I would do burnouts. So there is a slight grade on this track here, so let's see if I'm able to start it going the other way. Yeah, no issue. I mean, it's empty cars. That could change once the train is loaded, though. Alright, so we got some steel slabs, steel bent plates, steel rolls, and steel billets. Excuse me. There we go. For you, I didn't think I was actually in the locomotive. Alright, so where are these going? A couple following cars at station track B20, which is the second one closest to me over there. That would make sense, because if you want it to be, like if you want traction, you don't necessarily want smooth spheres. When a train rolls over sand, it does pulverize it, which completely changes the shape of the particles. Turns it into a fine powder. Oh, interesting. Water smooth sand is less smooth than desert. Starting to get dark here. Now, can I get moving with all the steel? Each car has gone from 11 tons to 49 tons. It is struggling. I need to be careful here, because if I push the locomotive too hard, the traction motor temperature goes up. Do seem to be gaining speed at throttle notch 1, so we're not stuck. Definitely not stuck. Find out if there's enough room for these cars without having to move those rails. Looks like we can fit here. Push it a little further in. Alright, cars are in place. Now we can hand in this job and get my cash. $17 grand. Nice. So we got some other shunting jobs I can do. There's these pickups. Actually, before I do anything, I'm going to grab the couch and get us to the dawn so we're not in the dark for much longer. Do another couple of pickups. Going to A3 and B7 again. 42. So the 42 car was on this end. So that makes this a little easier. Engine got turned off while I slept. I want to go to A3 next. All my switches are aligned. Alright, so for train 42, it's, is that all of them? Yes. That's enough research for now. Did you find a rabbit hole? You did, and it's for another day. Bad enough that you're interested in rockets. Now I'm getting you interested in trains and sand. Interesting. Heiss also, in his channel, is all about trains, but he apparently is also a massive space geek as well. Yeah, I feel like that's my life as well. Too many interests and not enough time for them. And also there's the feeling that if I spend too much time on one, I'm neglecting the others. So it's hard to want to specialize. Load these up. These are going to B6. Of course, you can play this game first person. Play in realistic mode, you are restricted to first person. You can't do this sort of teleporting across the map thing either. I do like watching my own train roll by. Yeah, I don't know what it is about space and rail that seem to go together. I wonder if we're destined to develop space trains. Trains on the moon. If we have moon colonies, we'll have moon trains. Yeah, you get to rail fan your own vehicle. This train is heavy. "44 tons times 4 cars." Yep, there goes the traction motor temperature. Traction motors are what they call the electric motors that are attached to the wheels. It's a diesel electric, so it has a diesel, basically a diesel power plant, and the power is transmitted electrically to the wheels. If you run your throttle too hard, without your traction motors being able to speed up, they will get very hot and you can blow them up if you're not careful. I think we got plenty of space for this train. Alright, that's that job done too. Now let's see if I can do the other two in one go. I do have to buy a license for that though. Before I can do that, I have to pay my fees. Fees are paid. Licenses. So what I want is the concurrent orders. $10,000. I have 30,000. There we go. And now I can take both of these. Been in rail for a century. Like they. Diesel electric came into being really quickly after diesel started being a thing. Although it is fascinating the different ways that this game has 3 different types of diesel engines. We've got the diesel electrics, we have a diesel hydraulic, and a diesel mechanical. So many ways to transmit power between the engine and the wheels. Alright, so where am I going? I have to first turn the engine back on, because paying my fees for some reason turns the engine off. Shunting. Alright, so we need to go to B3. Where's the other one? I'm missing a job. Did I put it down? Oh, I did. It's put it right there. Okay, so going to A6 and B3. So I need those iron ore cars. And if I struggle with those 4 steel cars, I'm going to have a hard time getting the iron ore cars back off of that hill into that track. I might have to grab the other DE too. There was a second one of these, but I'm going to have to like control them separately because I don't have the multiple unit license. How do these rails work in cold weather? Doesn't diesel coagulate? I don't know. I think they try to keep them running when they're not like in a heated shed. That is a good question. I don't really know the answer to that. Time for another rabbit hole, perhaps. Right. Let's see if I can get these moving. I mean, it's flat ground. I should be able to get anything moving. Probably going to kick these into the loading track and then go get the next train separately. Because I don't think I'm going to be able to get all 7 moving at the same time. And once I'm done these jobs, I'm probably going to go get some lunch. But I might do some more streaming after lunch. I'm not sure. I'm just going to play it by ear until I sort of work out a rhythm. Try not to overthink my streaming plan. Right, I'm going to disconnect these and start the throttle. or they're just going to shove me down the hill. Starting to overheat. Over 100 degrees. We are getting into the dangerous temperatures. You can cool it down by going a little faster too. But I'm sort of trying to manage the speed. Yeah, it's a good words. Good words to not push yourself. Push myself. Alright, starting to get some speed because once we're past the switch, we're on level ground. So I can speed up. And my temperature is going down despite pushing harder because I am able to go faster. Alright. Good speed. I'm going to stop the engine before we get to the switch. And let the cars keep going. That is a successful kick. I'm going to let them go far enough that I can fit 3 more cars in the track. While I'm waiting for that, I'm going to get moving again. We are going to A6. That's far enough. Apply those handbrakes. Yay, train juggling. That's what I'm here for. Alright, brakes. There we go. Let's get out of here. Heel slip and heat. Put some sand. Oh, that is too much. Okay. And making my traction motor sad. Or angry. Unhappy, generally. It'll be a lot easier once these are unloaded. It's 62 tons of ore and 24 tons of car. do enjoy that the train brakes have about the same level of effectiveness regardless of how heavy the train is. Because it's the, it comes from the cars themselves, and I think it's proportional to the weight of the cars too. Even though it takes a lot of effort to get the train moving, it is very easy to stop it. I don't know how transferable that is to reality, but it seems to be the case, and it makes a little bit of sense. Alright. You're hooked in. We can unload. I'm probably going to end it there because I gotta go. Speaking of not pushing myself. Alright, thanks for showing up, Badman. Really nice to have you around.